Ever since the launch of Bitcoin, numerous developers have been inspired to utilize blockchain technology as a means of disrupting pre-existing industries, such as banking and finance. However, Bitcoin as a blockchain had many limitations, mainly seen in the throughput and scalability. As such, those issues ultimately ended up giving birth to the Hedera Hashgraph, which is a public network that has its own native cryptocurrency, but isn't actually a blockchain network. You'll see what I mean as we move along in the video. But remember, it's still decentralized, just like Bitcoin. But this project also has a public governing body. Hedera Hashgraph aims to offer security and a high level of scalability while also remaining more efficient and cost-effective when compared to other solutions. Okay, so now that I have your attention, we're gonna go over everything you need to know about Hedera Hashgraph as we look at the project and how it does things a little bit differently. Hey guys, it's Mark Thompson from CryptoMade, and today we're talking about Hedera Hashgraph and its cryptocurrency HBAR, along with the various things that make it stand out. Now, before we dive too deep into the video, make sure that you hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and make sure you turn on notifications so you get updates every time we post a new video. Remember, this is not financial advice. This content is used for educational and informational purposes only. It's important to talk to a financial advisor before making any investment decisions. And with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, to get the elephant out of the room, you might be wondering how Hedera Hashgraph functions without a blockchain network. After all, it has its own native cryptocurrency, HBAR, and even supports technologies such as NFTs without smart contracts. The solution here is the actual Hashgraph. This is essentially a public ledger intended to track timestamp transactions, which occur between nodes throughout the network. Within the Hashgraph system, the transactions get contextualized by their place in order, among other transactions. In a traditional blockchain network, they would be contextualized by the place in relation to the blockchain. In other words, on other blockchains, transactions need to be in perpetual production, regardless of the traffic happening on the blockchain or with that specific cryptocurrency. The Hashgraph differentiates itself by having the transactions be sent out only for confirmations by active nodes instead of all nodes within the network. This Hashgraph algorithm is patented, and the nodes are consistently communicating their information with one another. With this in mind, you might now be wondering, how is consensus achieved? As we go deeper down this rabbit hole, you'll realize why the project is so fascinating to many crypto enthusiasts. In order for the Hashgraph to ensure that all the computers in the network agree on the transaction history, the nodes are split across two types. The first is the consensus nodes. These are used to determine the transaction ordering and the history. And the second is mirror nodes. These are used to relay the information to other stakeholders throughout the network. Through this procedure, the transactions cannot be undone at a later point in time. Let's go back to traditional blockchain systems for a moment so you can see the difference a bit more clearly. In traditional blockchains like Bitcoin, the state of the blockchain is determined by users who propose blocks, which are then added to the chain in a competition that's open to anyone to participate in. In this case of Hedera Hashgraph, it is governed by a body known as the Hedera Governing Council. They're the ones responsible for running the consensus nodes, which are responsible for determining the transaction ordering. As of May of 2022, 39 highly diversified organizations lead the Hedera network. All of them are responsible for managing the software, voting on potential changes, ensuring that the funds are allocated correctly, and safeguarding the network's legal status throughout various jurisdictions. If you have not been following this project, you might be highly surprised at some of the biggest names are sitting on the council. Some notable names are Google, Ubisoft, Tata Communications, LG, IBM, and Deutsche Telekom. This is a limited council, which means that each member has been carefully selected and is allowed to have up to 2 consecutive 2-year maximum terms. Throughout their time on the council, each of the members have equal votes on the network and platform's decisions. So now you might be wondering, what's the role of the HBAR token and how does it all connect? Well, HBAR is used to power the network. Its users need to buy cryptocurrency in order to conduct transactions and operate any of their applications. HBAR's supply is limited to 50 billion tokens, and the entire supply was originally pushed out when the network launched in 2018. But HBAR can also be staked, where users can earn the ability to get a percentage of the rewards and fees that the computers get from processing the transactions on the network, despite the fact that they'd have to stake them with another node. The network claims that it can handle up to 10,000 transactions per second, with transaction confirmations of around 3 to 5 seconds with finality. The fee is just 1/100th per transaction. So here's my personal take. It's truly fascinating how Hedera Hashgraph took the concept of blockchain technology and reinvented it to fill a specific need. This need was to resolve the issues surrounding scalability and throughput. Any developer now has the ability to build validator networks using scheduled transactions and multi-signature accounts to power use cases with greater programmability. This includes DeFi and cross-chain bridges. Now, throughout the network, we have the Hedera testnet, which developers can start building with a Hedera profile, and Hedera mainnet that will enable them to run production applications with HBAR for any mainnet account. All of this contributes to a solid, complex, yet effective system that enhances the technology originally conceived in projects such as Bitcoin. So, what about you? Have you invested into the HBAR cryptocurrency yet? Do you think once the dust settles, this layer 1 project will rise above the likes of Solana, Litecoin, or even Binance? If you ended up enjoying this video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to our channel for more breakdowns on other crypto projects, including updates on everything happening in the industry.